So firstly, for me, it's always to ask, to pray about whatever project I walk into, to ask for assistance so that I'm able to be in it, also be held in it. So this is the first and foremost before anything else. We know the story of rape all too well in our own country. So it's not a foreign story. It's a story that is always, you know, that accompanies us, unfortunately. So it's also tapping into these stories that I've heard, some of the things that I've experienced as a woman in the country. And it's also, I've been very blessed to have been in the Congo and interacted with, you know, people from that side. And my relationship with the Congo has been quite a lengthy one. I think the first time I was ever introduced to someone from, it was still Zaire then, you know, back in the day. I think it must have been 1997 or, you know, so I believe that also it was already a preparation, that I wasn't just prepared, and I'm not only prepared as I was called to come do it, but I've been preparing to come here.
The understanding of one cast member, it benefits everyone because it betters the performance and it betters the ensemble. So I also really appreciated that. So that has been a big part of my preparation, in knowing that, okay, so we share a common goal. And I know that, you know, Shoki, Sister, I know that Sami is going to send through something. I'll also give what I know.
There are a lot of things that are spoken in the name of greatness, of truth, but the intention, they're not always backed with beautiful intentions. And this is what she does. She comes here to survive and to also give life to these ladies. But how do you survive in the context of war? You have to play. You have to find the dynamics. You have to move. And she moves, she dances around that spaces in the most incredible way, sometimes forgetting about her own personal needs, because of course she's a martyr in this space, but I'm so glad Christian comes along and reminds her that in all of that, in taking care of people, somebody needs to take care of you. Yeah.
The only way to make you feel that I am superior to you because you're a girl is for me is to take away that whatever you hold precious. I mean, I'm going to force you to have sex with me, or I'll force you to have sex with as many, all my soldiers anyway, my brigade. It's that, you know, and it shows you how low he is, you know. But it's fear. It's people like him. Want to instill fear in others because they themselves are controlled by fear, and the fear of losing that which they think they own, which they think they have.
But specifically, you know, going to the people at the time of the Congo that look like me, how that affects their lives, their future, and how that somehow is an eventuality. How is it that as a woman, just because you're living in the Congo, it's an eventuality, that will happen to you, how that must feel like, how that space feels like, that space of despair. So it's quite a heavy place to be in, but it's beautiful because we're playing spirits that actually exist. We're telling someone's story. It's sad, but it's necessary, you know what I mean?
It's so relevant because it's still happening. It's so relevant because it's part of our memory in our bodies. It's relevant because sometimes we get triggered and we're not sure why we're getting triggered, but it's these things that are alive in us. You know, and it's important because it sits in the heart of our continent. That is our life space. So if that space is not okay, we cannot be okay. The Congo is not fine, we're not fine. We can pretend, but we're not fine. The blood pumps slower to the other spaces. We're at the feet. So I will get vuvugele legs just now, you know, all sorts of things because the heart is not responding well. So it's super relevant. And to say that for me in 22, it's still happening. We just had the Kruger's Dope thing. It's incredible that it happens also around this time. So clearly there's something that we're doing in the atmosphere, and there is something that we've been called to do in the atmosphere, and to also counter these things that are happening, because I also believe that what we do is an energy force that diffuses certain things. We're not just here to do plays and be pretty and win awards, but we're here to also diffuse things in the atmosphere. So there is no way that this play can take place at this moment and it has no relevance.